there's no harm, no foul. But the dangerous thing is, what else can they find?
Yeah. What will they once they lift that rug up? What all's under there?
What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of Pew Pew Pew. There's better. There's no more pellet guns. The Wrestling Outlaws.
Oh, you did
the Road Dogg
podcast.
Oh no. Well, matter of fact, man, that's a good transition. I want you to plug your podcast, man, before we get
do we want to introduce Vince first?
The lesser important.
Should we say that we're joined by Vince Russo?
No. I want this. I love hearing from you, bro. Go ahead.
Okay, I have been working on a new entrance too. Like it's like never leave me alone. Dr. Chris Featherstone. You know what I mean? Something like that. And, you know what I mean?
Very
so
nice.
Look, it started right. Yes, thank you. I'll be here all week. Be sure and try to tip your waitresses. What we're going to talk about, my podcast, Oh You Didn't Know,
yes.
with me, BG Road Dogg James. I have so many names now. I'm like Thunder Lips. You know what I mean? Like, what a great scene that was. But yeah, tune into my podcast too. That's cool. Whatever.
Bro, let me ask you a question before we go. So, Chris, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're good. I love this man.
I love this man. I haven't seen him for years. I always got questions from him. Bro, where did You Didn't Know originate from? I know that was 1,000% your baby. Where did it originate from?
I've talked about that a lot lately on my podcast. Oh, You Didn't Know. But it literally from me and Brian Lee, the Underfaker, you know what I mean? And we were joking around. And back then we used to say, like, you better page somebody. Oh, you better fax somebody. You know what I mean? So we were literally just messing around backstage. And when Jim Johnson got that music, I'd said it once, like with no music. And then I thought, I'm going to say that again. That felt cool. It just so happened when we got the music, it fit perfectly, and so it was like it was meant to be. But yeah, it was totally a joke, and me trying to pop Brian Lee,
bro. Do you know
on a live event?
Brian, I still talk about Brian Lee to this day and the influence he had on you guys and the mind this guy had for the business, right?
Yeah. Brian Lee's great. He was the Underfaker. He was Chains of DOA fame.
Yes.
So yeah, he'd been around the business. He was with Slash and James Mitchell and TNA for a while.
Yes.
So yeah, he's been around the business for
Smoky Mountain too.
Smoky Mountain. Yeah, he was the Smoky Mountain heavyweight champion for a long time.
What a personality he had, bro, right?
Yes, he did. And he was a great champion for Smoky Mountain.
Yeah. He was a great
man. That was cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris. It's your show. Take it over. Go ahead, Chris.
Now in Smoky Mountain, you were like going back and forth, like you were still serving active, right? Or was it your time?
No. I was out. I had gotten out after 6 years of service.
Gotcha.
Don't leave me alone.
You were still active in WCW, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I was still doing active in WCW even when I went to WWF at the time. Like after I debuted as the roadie, I still had a couple matches on WCW Saturday night or something.
Bro, do you remember?
Really?
Do you remember when we went to OJ's house, bro? Before they knocked
yes,
down? Oh,
yes. I tell that story all the time. Like literally me, you, and Jeff Jarrett, like getting out of the car.
And bro, remember the police were circling? The police were and like we had to find a 2-minute opening. Remember, bro?
Yes.
And you found the bag. You found the bag in the bushes, bro.
Man, that was great times, though. Real good times.
Inside stories with Vince Russo and BG, Brian.
Yeah. Why do you write a format to this show? Why do you put topics in there?
I'm just here for the ride.
Go ahead, Chris. What are the topics?
I'm just here for the ride.
Baby. What do you got?
Hot topics, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you didn't know. Now you're about to know. The first one, shooting from the hip. That's the first segment of the night. And, hey, one of the hottest topics going on right now, it's the ripe age of 76 years old. There's all types of situations that's been going on with Vince McMahon over the past couple of weeks. It's been highly advertised over the past week. And, hey, 2009, there was something going on. It was mutual, and Wall Street Journal reported all this. It was supposed to be mutual, and then all of a sudden it led into some hush money. The board of directors has investigated this, and as a result, Vince McMahon, the impenetrable genetic juggernaut that has conquered so many suits, is a victim of moral failure, like everybody else is. We've all tapped out to moral failure at one point in time. And Vince McMahon yes, exactly. Exactly. And so as a result, he is under investigation, and as during that time, he decided to step down as CEO and chairman of the WWE. Daughter Stephanie McMahon is now chairwoman and interim CEO. And caught in the crosshairs of all that is AC boy John Laurinaitis, who is on administrative leave because he had some affiliation with that scandal as well. We'll start off with Road Dogg. You were there. You've been there, and you were there during these allegations and when it happened. And I don't know. Just give me as far as the backstage feel and all that. Did anybody know? How did that all come about, and did anybody know about it?
So first question, was it in 2009? Was that the year?
19.
Is that correct?
Oh,
19. I'm sorry.
If I said
2019. So look, I was out of the loop, you could say, by then, and down at NXT. I have sources really close to it that told me, keep your mouth shut, Brian, or we'll bury you. I know. I'm just kidding. I really have been out of that loop. I don't understand either what is I'm going to get heat for this, and I apologize. What is the criminal aspect of this?
The only criminal aspect, Brian, and there probably isn't any. Bro, here's the thing with Vince. He's going out on SmackDown and Raw, thinking that he's got nothing to worry about. And in this case, he doesn't. But if I'm Vince, I'm worried about the Pandora's box is what I'm worried about. Correct. The only implication, Brian, would have been if he would have used WWE money. And McDivitt made it clear. Bro, first of all, he's not denied this. So it's happened.
Right.
And McDivitt made it clear, saying he did not use WWE money, which means he used his own money. Yeah, so in this case, there's no harm, no foul. But the dangerous thing is, what else can they find?
Yeah. What will they once they lift that rug up? What all's under there? And look, we're all guilty of that, right? We're all guilty of opening that closet and having skeletons in there. Look, I think the way they've done all this is the way they always do things, is creatively genius. Look, he trolled the world and came out on TV and said, hey, welcome to SmackDown. But then I read that the Roman Reigns...
That's what you call a flex, Brian.
Yeah, it is a flex, right? It's good to be the king. I say that a lot. It's good to be the king, man. And when you are, that's just how it is. And so, look, I'm not saying what he did was right or anything, but look, he who cast the first stone have no sin,
Yeah,
you were about to say something about Roman Reigns, though, Brian. What were you about to say?
Say that again?
You were about to say something about Roman Reigns, and then
the ratings. From what I understand, the ratings went up.
They did. Yeah, they absolutely.
From Vince hooked them, but then you had to keep them. So because that's the thing is to you can get them at the 8 o'clock hour or whatever time it comes on at your house, but is what you have on the show sticky enough to keep them? And that to me it says, well, heck yeah, they did, because look, I know I stay tuned and watch that main event.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vince, along those lines, where are we in a day and age that the highest and most anticipated part of a television show is to hear what a 76-year-old man has to say about his infidelity, sleeping with his parallel.
I think Brian would agree with me. Brian, listen, I'm again, we can disagree on this show. We're going to walk away loving each other. The content on Raw is miserable. Yeah. This is the show. Right. This is the show. Brian, bro, you can make it whatever you want. So if you've got a shoot situation, bro, you could manage it and work it any way you want.
Well, look, he always says himself, we're the masters of our own destiny. You know what I mean?
This is the show. I mean, come on, Brian. You know all the characters now jockeying for position.
Yeah.
You know, who's Bruce throwing the elbow at, and, hey, I mean, that's the story.
Yeah, that is the story.
And come on, Stephanie then is interim, and the first thing she does is put Hunter back at NXT. You want ratings, Brian. That's the story, bro.
Well, that's the Game of Thrones. That's the real life struggle of power with the powerful people. I'll watch that all day long.
And you can work it. I mean, bro, you work it. You tell whatever story you want to tell, but they know that there's a shred of this
truth. There's just a shred of truth out there.
I just think, Chris, it's such a missed opportunity. My God, run with this, man. Your ratings would triple, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, I do think at this age I would probably bow out too, but I see what you're saying. It is a great story. Yeah, it always is, right? It's always better than the crap we write.
Always.
Brian, your time I know that ratings was a big deal when Vince was lead writer in the late 90s. During your time as on the writing staff and as lead writer, how important was ratings during your stint?
Well, look, I don't want to say we lived and died by them, but because guess what? We got a chance to do it all again next week. It's episodic, and it's every week of every year. You know what I mean? So you don't live and die by them, but look, you get up like as the lead writer, and I get the ratings back of a show that I thought was really good, and the ratings sucked. It hurts my feelings. You know what I mean? And I still know my show was good. The one I put on television, that show was good. Just nobody watched it. You know what I mean? And so that's why, I think the ratings are archaic, and I think everybody knows that. But you don't go to whoever, Chris McCumber or whatever of USA, and go, yeah, ratings don't matter. They literally are that's how he butters his bread.
Brian, I got to ask
you, are those the metrics that they usually use when it comes to deals and pitching and stuff like that?
From the network standpoint, of course. You know what I mean? But you got to understand, none of the other shows on USA are doing great either. Yeah. It's across the board that ratings are down. Again, I think it's an archaic system that needs to be relooked at.
Brian, I want to ask you this, man, because I don't doubt you. Without a doubt. I know you're telling the truth, and I know how you are, and I know when you were in charge. Yes, you took it personally, and you really cared.
Yeah.
I got to ask you this. I just want to get your take on this now, because the one thing that drives me crazy about the show, Brian, is, listen, as a head writer, you are a head writer. Bro, I'm not going to criticize anybody else's stories, characters, ideas, because it's all subjective, right?
Exactly.
Well, one person may love, another person may hate. But here's where I really get upset watching that show. Because as I watch that show today, I'm seeing a lack of effort. And I'm not talking about in the ring with the boys.
Yeah.
I'm talking about formatting a television show. I'm seeing them, kind of sleepwalk through the show. And I believe, with Nick Khan coming in, bro, this guy has made billions and billions of dollars with these deals, bro, from Peacock to USA to Fox to Saudi. Bro, they're making so much money now, hand over fist. I feel like the mentality is literally just film the house show and put it on, because we're going to continue to make this money. Do you see a change in the passion from when you were doing it to what you see now? I don't see the passion.
Yeah, look, I know it's a difficult role to be in as a lead writer, and you know that as well, especially if you don't always have final say. And sometimes you do. Sometimes he bought my creative, sometimes he didn't. So, you just do the best you can. I understand exactly what you're saying, but sometimes I think there's limitations and stuff that are put on you that are outside of your control, and you kind of got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. Yep.
Yeah.